They were the faces of our childhood, the kids who lit up our TV screens in the 70s and 80s.
What you talking about, Willis?
But fame came early, and for some, the spotlight burned too bright.
Corey Haim was found dead early this morning.
This is child stars from the 70s and 80s who met a sad end.
If you do, I'm gonna run away. And mama come home and find me going and get hysterical.
Before most kids her age were worrying about homework, Danielle Spencer was lighting up television screens as Dee Thomas, the wisecracking little sister on What's Happening. Her quick wit and deadpan delivery made her one of the most memorable child stars of the 1970s. But behind that smile was a life marked by extraordinary resilience. At just 12, she survived a devastating car crash that claimed the life of her stepfather and manager, Tim Pelt. Though her recovery was long, she found new purpose beyond Hollywood years. Later, she earned her doctorate in veterinary medicine, a remarkable pivot from sitcom fame to saving animals' lives. Fans admired her both for her talent and her humility, qualities that stayed with her long after the cameras stopped rolling.
So certainly after having gone through all of the surgery and diagnostic procedures, it helped me to be able to relate to animal pain.
In August 2025, Danielle Spencer passed away at 60 from gastric cancer and cardiac arrest, surrounded by her family in Virginia. Her brother, jazz musician Jeremy Pelt, called her a loving spirit who fought courageously until the very end. For many, she'll forever be Dee, the little sister who could hold her own against anyone. But those who knew her best remember something deeper, a survivor with grace to match her strength.
Dad, when I wear this on my date with Christine, oh, she is gonna die.
For an entire generation, Malcolm-Jamal Warner wasn't just Theo Huxtable. He was our big brother on Thursday nights. Smart, funny, and always learning life's lessons the hard way.
Well, after Dad left, we started sliding across the kitchen floor.
His character helped reshape what America saw in a black family on television off-screen. Warner grew into that same thoughtful presence, an actor, poet, musician, and quiet advocate for mental health. On July 20th, 2025, while vacationing with family in Costa Rica, Warner drowned after being caught in a powerful rip current. He was just 54. Despite rescue attempts by bystanders and the Red Cross, he could not be revived. News of his death sent shockwaves through Hollywood, with tributes flooding in from co-stars, musicians, and fans who grew up watching him. Warner's career stretched far beyond The Cosby Show. From Malcolm and Eddie to The Resident, he earned both Emmy and Grammy honors, always expanding his creative reach. Fox Entertainment called him extraordinary, and Tracy Ellis Ross remembered him as warm, gentle, present, kind. His art was timeless, but it was his humanity that truly defined him. Malcolm-Jamal Warner didn't just play the role of a beloved brother. He lived it, right up to his final day.
Oh, well, I just had a sudden craving.
For millions, Dana Plato was Kimberly Drummond, the sweet, big-hearted daughter on Different Strokes, the sitcom that defined a generation. But behind the laughter that filled living rooms every week, her real life followed a much darker script. Born in 1964, Plato was already acting in commercials before she turned 10. She nearly starred in The Exorcist, but it was Different Strokes that made her a household name.
Well, guys, I don't know what happened. I just got ravenous.
Fame came fast, and so did the pressure that comes with it. By her late teens, Plato struggled to find roles beyond the show that made her famous. When she became pregnant, she was written out of Different Strokes, and her career never fully recovered. What followed were years marked by addiction, legal trouble, and heartbreak.
Dana Plato, a TV star at 12. She died on Saturday of an overdose of prescription drugs.
In 1999, at just 34, she died in her sleep inside a motorhome parked outside her boyfriend's family home in Oklahoma. What was first thought to be an accidental overdose of painkillers and Valium was later ruled a suicide. Only a day before her death, she had told Howard Stern she was sober and rebuilding her life. The next evening, that promise ended in silence. A tragic end for a young woman who once brought laughter to millions. She was the little girl who looked straight into the camera and whispered, "They're here." With that single line, Heather O'Rourke became the haunting heart of Poltergeist, a child star whose innocence made the terror around her even more chilling. But behind the film's success lurked what many still call the Poltergeist curse, a series of tragedies that began soon after the movie's release.
He made me do an interview for the Poltergeist movie, and he said it's for 5-year-olds, which I was 5 then, and
Heather, with her bright blue eyes and quiet poise, returned for all 3 films in the franchise, captivating audiences even as whispers of misfortune grew. Then, in February 1988, those whispers turned to heartbreak. Just 12 years old, she was rushed into emergency surgery for what doctors believed was Crohn's disease. During the operation, they discovered an acute bowel obstruction. Complications led to septic shock, and the young actress died on the operating table, a loss so sudden it stunned Hollywood. Her death cemented the eerie legend surrounding Poltergeist, but for those who knew her, Heather wasn't a curse. She was a gift. Bright, kind, and unshakably professional, she brought light to one of cinema's darkest tales. Her story remains a heartbreaking reminder of how fleeting brilliance can be. In the 1990s, Jonathan Brandis was everywhere, on posters, in fan magazines, and in the hearts of teenagers around the world.
The main computer has a virus that's just been gnawing away at the systems. Well, as a matter of fact, I've got some parts on order.
With roles like Bastian in The Never-Ending Story 2 and Lucas Wolinchak on Sequest DSV, he became the soft-spoken prodigy every young fan adored. At 17, he was receiving thousands of fan letters a week and needed security guards to navigate the crowds. But behind that fame was a young man quietly searching for direction once the spotlight began to fade.
It's a really tricky time. I've seen guys my age, my friends, that haven't been working for a year because they got off a show or they did a film and it came out, didn't do so well, whatever.
After years of steady work, Brandis hoped his role in Heart's War would be his comeback. When most of his scenes were cut, the blow was devastating. Friends said he began drinking and talking openly about suicide. On November 11, 2003, he was found unresponsive in his Los Angeles apartment and died the next day at just 27. His father later revealed he had shown signs of manic depression, urging others to seek help before it's too late. Friends like Jaleel White and Soleil Moonfry remembered him as thoughtful and kind, a sensitive soul navigating impossible expectations. For so many who grew up watching him, Jonathan Brandis wasn't just a teen idol. He was proof that even the brightest lights can flicker too soon.
Oh, they're beautiful. I just love ranunculus. And look at these lovely Catenacci ceruleae.
To Family Matters fans, she was Myra Monkhouse, the radiant, big-hearted girlfriend who adored Steve Urkel. But Michelle Thomas was so much more than a sitcom character. With her sparkling smile and effortless charm, she lit up every scene she touched, from The Cosby Show to Family Matters, where she brought warmth and sincerity to one of TV's most beloved families. Born in 1968, Thomas grew up surrounded by creativity. Her father, Dennis Thomas, was a founding member of Kool and the Gang. She began acting in her teens, quickly becoming known for her comedic timing and natural grace off-screen. She was as kind and grounded as the characters she played. But behind her joyful spirit, Thomas faced a private battle. In 1998, at just 30 years old, she died after a fight with stomach cancer. Her passing left both fans and co-stars heartbroken. Years later, Jaleel White, who played Urkel, posted, "Michelle's smile never failed to brighten your day. I will forever miss my bubbly Myra Monkhouse."
Anytime I mention Michelle Thomas, there's a certain amount of innocence. I'm just taken back to, Michelle had a lot of opportunities to sell her soul to the devil, to start climbing a little faster.
Gone too soon, Michelle Thomas remains remembered for that same warmth, a light that still shines in the hearts of those she made laugh.
How we don't want to do any more films together for a while because we're getting categorized as the two Coreys that can only work together now.
In the 1980s, Corey Haim was the kind of star teenage audiences couldn't get enough of. Charming, mischievous, and unforgettable. From The Lost Boys to License to Drive, he defined a generation of cool, wide-eyed rebels. Alongside his close friend Corey Feldman, he became one half of the two Coreys, a pop culture phenomenon that seemed unstoppable. But behind the fame, Haim was fighting a relentless battle that would follow him for decades. Born in Toronto, he began acting at 10 and quickly rose to heartthrob status. Yet the pressure of early stardom, combined with Hollywood's excess, led him down a dangerous path of addiction. Cocaine, Valium, and more than a dozen trips to rehab marked his adult years. In a 2007 Nightline interview, Haim admitted, "I ruined myself to the point where I wasn't functional enough to work for anybody, even myself." On March 10, 2010, at his mother's Los Angeles home, Corey Haim collapsed after feeling unwell. He was rushed to the hospital and pronounced dead at 38 prescription bottles were found nearby, but no illicit drugs. Whether from illness or relapse, his passing closed the story of a talent who once seemed destined to last forever. For anyone who grew up in the late 70s or 80s, Gary Coleman was impossible to forget. As Arnold Jackson on Different Strokes, he delivered one of television's most famous lines,
"What you talking about, Kimberly? What you talking about, Willis?"
and became one of the most beloved child stars in history. But behind the laughter and quick wit was a life marked by illness, controversy, and questions that still linger to this day.
What stuff? Chalk. I must have been standing too close to the blackboard at school.
Born with a congenital kidney disorder that stunted his growth at 4 feet 8 inches, Coleman underwent 2 kidney transplants before he was 14 and lived much of his life in fragile health. Despite his challenges, his talent made him a household name, yet fame didn't bring peace. Legal troubles, financial struggles, and a turbulent marriage followed him into adulthood. On May 28, 2010, Coleman died at 42 after a fall at his Utah home led to a fatal brain hemorrhage. His ex-wife, Shannon Price, was with him and made the decision to take him off life support 2 days later, a move that has sparked years of suspicion and speculation. Even now, friends and fans wonder what truly happened. What's certain is that Gary Coleman's brilliance and his pain left an indelible mark. They made a generation smile, and even though their time was cut short, their light never truly faded. Their stories are reminders of how fragile fame can be and how the brightest stars can sometimes burn out too soon. Which of these child stars do you still remember most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if their stories touched you, hit like, subscribe, and join us as we continue to remember those who left too soon. Thank you for watching.